And we're live.
Oh, Professor. Oh,
Okay, I guess I should talk since somebody else wants to talk. All right, my name is Carl Hewling. I am a former graduate of the Florida A&M University. Disregard my head moving off screen. I have a baby. Enough said. Um, yeah, so we're all in industry, either furthering our education, Ashley, or
Thanks.
employed. Yeah, you too, JK. But you're employed too, so whatever. Uh, but the main event, folks, what we came to see, we came to hear about Mr. Askew, Cameron Askew. That is this gentleman here who is smiling. So he is a new employee at the Googles, and he's going to talk to us about his brief but still fantastic experience thus far.
yes.
Awesome.
Hey,
Hi, everybody.
take it away, Cam.
Yeah, super glad to be talking to y'all. And I think the main thing, like, I hope that we take away from, like, this talk is that you can, too. I don't know. Like, so a couple months ago, I, like, kind of on a whim, one of my friends was like, you should apply to Google. And I did. And there was like a 2 or 3 month interview process, and at the end of that, now I'm a software engineer 3, working on the analytics team, doing like front end development.
Analytics.
Which is
I didn't
fun.
know that.
It is fun, yeah. Like I don't know what should I go into specifically? I have no idea.
So I believe Miss Ashley Davis. Miss Davis, please introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Ashley Davis. I'm currently a PhD student at Florida State University. Yeah, so I'm sorry.
This is not professional at all. I'm eating chips. Wow. I don't care.
Yeah. So
Delicious.
yeah, I'm currently a student, as Mr. Hewling so eloquently pointed out earlier. Yeah, so if there's one question, of course, that myself as well as many others, I'm assuming, would like to know is about insight regarding the interview process to, keep, into Google.
Yeah. So the interviews at Google are actually not that different from the interviews at Microsoft or like Facebook or like a lot of other like big tech companies. They're all kind of the same process. You'll typically have a phone interview, and that phone interview is like going to be technical, and they'll ask you something that sounds like out of left field. It's not. It's like it's a slight twist on like a pretty classical problem. There are only like 100 of them really, like that exist that anybody really knows, and if you can kind of hammer those down, then you get an on-site interview where you have about 6 hours to talk to like a whole bunch of different engineers. You're supposed to talk to one at a time, but I ended up talking to like 2 groups of 2 engineers. So they come in one after another, and they just like ask you questions. You have to talk it out, ask questions to clarify, write that on the whiteboard. And if you do pretty well on those, then you can expect like a month of waiting while like some invisible committees like decide whether or not they want you. Now that part is really different than like Microsoft or Dell, which is where like I worked before. And Microsoft, for example, like as soon as I did my interviews, they were like, "You're on, like come on in." But like Google was like, "We have to think about it. I don't know."
Deem you worthy.
Yeah, no, they asked me to send in my transcripts and asked about Dr. Evans' class.
Really?
No, I am not joking. I got a C in there, and they were like, "How come? Like, why? What'd you do?" And I was like, "I didn't go to class enough. I'm sorry." Like, it was really bad.
Did you?
And
Oh,
also-
you have to say that?
Well, you don't have to, but like,
Might as well be honest about it.
oh, I was like honest the whole time. like he was like, okay, so how do you feel about like Dijkstra's algorithm or like a whole bunch of fancy? I do not know. I don't.
Just learn that.
And
Just learn that.
I told him not like just I don't
You
know.
know, okay, this is pure speculation on my part.
Mm-hmm.
I think he asked you that because he thought you might know it. That might seem like an obvious thing, but let's say you knew about it and you could speak about it intelligently.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're not a software engineer 3, right? They're probably like, "Hey, I know you have a bachelor's. Do you want a master's or a PhD? Join Google Research," and you'd probably be doing that.
That's true. Yeah.
So I suspect that's where that was leading.
I mean, possibly. Yeah. So like Dijkstra's algorithm is a pathfinding algorithm. Um, and by the end of like the interview, they expect you to know. Like by the end of the interview process, expect you to know that kind of stuff. But he was like really, I don't know. He was like really straightforward about it and was like, okay, we're gonna figure out. Like it kind of felt like he was my partner, you know. Like
So
we're
they're
gonna
teaching
figure out
you
how to
while
get
they're
you in.
interviewing you.
No, you're supposed to teach yourself. Is the
Ah.
interesting thing. So they're like, do you know this? I don't.
Yeah.
I
Kind
really
of like
don't.
take notes from what you weren't able to adequately answer and take it upon yourself to kind of brush up on that.
Yeah, and actually, so my phone interview was like kind of special because I was freaking out a whole bunch, like I do a lot, and I was asking my recruiter a whole bunch of questions, like, okay, do I need to know about server infrastructure? Do I need to know? Do I need to know like the advanced algorithms like off the bat? Do you want me to like know the human genome sequence? Like, what do you? Like, what do you want? Because I've heard like stories about like super geniuses getting into Google, and he was like, it's not even like that. Like, you just really have to know the basics. And so he set up an interview that was like a mock interview, and like if you do well, then you can have the on-site interview. If you do poorly, then we'll give you another chance. You can study for like a month or so and then come back. I did well, but it was really cool because he was asking about like how to sort or search through a list that was infinite or whatever, and it was like I don't really know, but so I struggled with that a little bit, but then I was able to like study like larger merge sort algorithms, like what is it called? I can't even remember its name now. I studied a whole bunch of stuff and now I can't remember it. Merge sort, and I will just explain the concept. It's when like you are storing things in external sort. Thank you. Okay, there you go. It's when you're storing things in external memory and then bringing them back up into RAM, sorting small sets, and then putting them back down. And that's a really useful thing to know. But if you're just studying like the basic algorithms, you might not have seen that.
So you sort an infinite list by just taking a chunk of that, sorting up, putting that down into external memory, and just keep doing that with the external list?
Yeah, so the idea was going to be the beginning of the. I can't talk too much about it, I'm not supposed to, but like the beginning of the list is some characters.
Okay.
And those characters have interspersed with like amongst them like dollar signs. Dollar signs aren't going to be part of the list. It's just alphanumeric, right?
Uh-huh.
And then at some point it's going to be all dollar signs. So the idea was like, well, with like merge sort or with like binary search, you start at the middle of the list and you kind of like look at the two halves and then try to find. And I couldn't figure it out. And he kind of like nudged me in the direction of starting at the beginning of the list and then kind of growing your list size that you're going to affect over time from the start instead of from the middle going out. And that's just like a different way of looking at like dividing and conquering algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
But all that stuff like isn't really like I think important to this talk. Like I have like a list here off to the right of a couple of things that like I think will be really good. So cracking a code interview. Basically, if you're gonna get a job, yeah, you need that. Like if you're gonna get a job at a top like coding company. Yes, you do need to have an undergraduate experience, and yeah, like being in the computer science program specifically at FAM like helped a lot with that. But I don't remember specific like implementation of like different data structures. And cracking the code interview has everything they can ask you. If you can do every problem there, like I had nightmares about them still. Like I'm not even joking. Like I woke up one night and I screamed like Radix sword. Like I don't, it's like, really bad. So like if you can do everything in there, like in your sleep, literally, then you're set. But there are a couple other things that I thought were like really useful, just to kind of like put me at ease. So cracking the code interview, programming Perls has like the cool tricks of the trade, like some other algorithms that aren't in cracking the code interview that are just like a little fancier. Like, oh, you didn't really have to sort that. Like those kind of like ingenious things. Those are ingenious things. There's literally a genius somewhere who spent like a year thinking of that. Like you don't have to be a genius to like know that. You just have to read the book. Um, and then for me, because I did not pay enough attention in school, I had like big gaps in like my working like knowledge. So there's a channel called CS50 on YouTube that like kind of like it's from Stanford, and they go through like really simple like with like baby blocks like explanations of the algorithms, like quicksort and things like that. And that's really cool. There was something called bigocheatsheet.com, and that taught me like the runtime complexities and things like that. Got that memorized, and you're good. And that's pretty much it. Like it doesn't take like genius. It does take like a lot of hard work. Like I said, like I'm really good at cramming, and so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this in like a month and a half, and that's what I did. Like I went to my job, and then I came home, and for like 4 hours a night, I bought a whiteboard, and I'd just be writing on the whiteboard, right? You don't have to do it like that. If you wanted to take like a year, if you wanted to take, you can take as long as you want, and as long as you like learn at a like healthy pace, then you probably won't be having nightmares, and you'll probably still get to where you want to be. I don't know if that answered your question. I hope so.
Yeah.
So, I had a question. I think you already answered it, but for the handful of viewers that we have out there, let's ask it again. So, were you able to look that beautiful code, the Google search algorithm?
Yeah. So I think probably we talked about this right before the call, but
Yeah.
this is not universally true of like tech companies, but at Google, there's only one repository. This is two, but one repository. All the code is in one place, and it's like source controlled for like those of you on like who might be viewing who haven't worked with like source control systems before. So it's like Google proprietary or whatever, but you can kind of like log on. You can pull down the code for that, and just look at anything you want. And what's really cool about that is like, hey, I want to work on so this is an Android Wear smartwatch, right? I don't like that when I click this button, something happens, right? I want to change that. You can. You can go look at their code, familiarize yourself with it, and then submit code and CC, like in the email saying, hey, I just changed something, CC the person who's responsible for that code. And if they like it, if it's useful, they'll review it, get back to you. They'll be like, no, that sucks. Fix this line. But then your code will be like on that project. And that's really cool.
That is cool.
In addition, like there are a whole bunch of like algorithms, and because it's all shared, like you don't have to rethink the wheel every time you want to write something. Like, oh, somebody at Google thought of like a magical quantum search, I don't know, magic thing, right? You can use their code. You just like port it to your project, and you're done. Like, and you can also like learn from like the best in the business. Guy who invented Python works here. Like, it's awesome. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. So, just for the benefit of, again, the viewers that we have out there, let's emphasize the fact that not every company has such a liberal policy when it comes
No.
to SVN, or I shouldn't say SVN, source control access, repos, right? Like I was saying prior to the call, my company went in the opposite direction and removed read-only access. Before it was only read-only, right? You couldn't even commit. But then they went further and was like, that's still too much. We don't want you looking at it because you're a thief, and we don't like thieves. So that's cool that one, they trust their employees to do that, and two, obviously they get to reap the benefits of that cross-pollination going on.
It's pretty awesome, yeah.
So there was a question. Oh, of course. Probably the most important question that can be asked. So that food, right? How is that?
The food is awesome, yeah. So, like I said, I worked at Microsoft before this, and Microsoft's pretty good. Microsoft will give you like sodas and stuff like that. All that's free, and there's snacks. Google has like the mindset of like get out of the developer's way as much as possible. Like, I don't want you to have to go and wash your clothes, so we have like laundry on site. Like, I don't want you to have to go and get haircuts, so we have haircuts on site. You shouldn't be wasting your time finding parking for your car in the morning, so there's valet parking. And then food is like not 24/7. They close at like 8, but like every meal you could eat at Google. And every building has its own, like not every building, but like in my campus in the headquarters, just about every building has its own cafeteria, and they have their own kind of food. So the building where I work, we have like burritos and nachos and stuff, which is terrible for me, so I eat on the main campus. They have like sandwiches and sushi and things like that. They're not as delicious as FAMU's cafeteria because they're healthier, but it's still free. Like, I'm not going to pay for my food anymore.
Don't worry, my lust level is staying in check.
Just right, yeah.
Video from a certain individual would be beneficial.
It would. I second that.
And his voice too. But
if only he had video. Like, actually, AJ, like, funny note about that. So, like, everyone who I talk to is like, "Oh my God, Google! Like, you're going to be like super rich." Maybe eventually, because it has like a really good stock program, like good 6 figures in stock. But I can't see that for another 4 years, right? It vests over time. That's a lot better than Microsoft stock. Not quite as good as Facebook's, but it's good. But my pay, while it's like 6 figures, like living. Oh, did my call drop?
No,
You're still there.
No, okay, good. There was some static like in the background, and now it's gone. So I'm like, what happened?
No.
But so I don't remember where it was. Oh yeah, like pay is 6 figures. That's really good. But I live in the Bay Area, and so that's not doesn't really matter. Just like, good job making like 60,000. Awesome. Like, and Microsoft will pay you about that well to live wherever, right? But Google's like, nah, I don't care. You know why? Because you got free food, free car rentals, free this, free that. There are a lot of perks, but you lose a lot of cash in the process. So it's not really the rich getting richer. It's like being pampered and then not paid. It's like slavery, but with more colors.
Great way of putting it.
It's pretty awesome though, and like for someone who like I don't like really prioritize. Like, I'm not good at saving money, right? Like, I'm really good at like focusing on something like in a little burst, but I'm really bad at like long-term things, right? So like, and most people are, right? But like, I don't have to worry about saving money because Google's not going to give me all my money. They're going to put it in stock, and then that's going to vest over time, which like it doubles like every couple of years. So that's really cool.
Sounds like they're used to people who are irresponsible, and they're like, you know what? Just to make sure that you're still around in 4 years.
Here you go.
Save your money.
If you don't leave, you can have this. I don't like having to worry about like going to the doctor. Like, that ruins my day. Like, if I have any appointment of any kind, I'm done. Like, I can't, like, the day before and the day after are messed up too. Like, it's really bad. So they have like doctors on site with like the best insurance. Like don't worry about that stuff, and it's pretty great. But you're gonna take an apparent pay cut because of that.
So a
If
quick
you want
question.
money, go to Microsoft. No, they will take care of you. It's good.
You say you're not at the headquarters, but which site are you at?
No, I'm at the headquarters.
Oh, you're
It's,
at the headquarters.
yeah, like I'm not in the central campus. Like if you watch the internship, that that movie with like Vince Vaughn, those like the buildings that they film in are the main buildings, like the one with the spaceship and the T-Rex and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like 2 blocks down from that, like in my own building. Like my all of analytics is in its own building.
So you're not at Mountain.
No.
I am at Mountain View.
You're at okay. I'm about to.
I was like, I don't know, I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, I'm at Mountain View. I got to see Larry and Sergey on Thursday, which was awesome. They
You should ask for a Tesla.
What'd you say?
You should ask for a Tesla.
I should. I'd be like, listen, all these Priuses on campus are really cute. I would like a Tesla.
I saw one over there.
There are a lot of Teslas on campus because like you get free power for your car, and they're like, I'm just gonna park it like right next to the building. And I feel like they're also partially doing it to show off. It hurts me a little bit every time I walk past one. There are bikes on campus to get around them, so it's not like you're hoofing it across. Like you can ride a bike. They're nice sometimes. Some of them
How
are
often do
older.
they get painted though? Because I'm sure there's a few
the bikes.
tragedies where people are like, I crashed into a bush. Stop. When do they paint that?
I don't know how they color the bikes, but the bikes aren't. It doesn't feel like they're painted. It feels like whatever the paint is part of the metal, like kind of like a playset, you know? Like it's whatever it is. It doesn't come off very often. It's the seats that go bad. Like the seats are like this bright red color, like Jonathan's shirt here, and then they eventually go to be the color of Jonathan's wall. Like and it's like,
Interesting.
I don't want that bike. I don't. That one's not good. But yeah, the more popular bikes obviously get picked up first.
A lot of parts on those seats.
Yeah. So, quick question, Ken. Oh, and by the way, I'm Jonathan Smith. I'm a graduate student at A&M, studying computer science. So I got to visit the Mountain View campus. I think last year. Yes, it was last year. And I was talking to some of the African American developers who are actually there. And they kind of told me you need to know the basic algorithms and things on that nature, but they don't really. So like, okay, so how you were talking about, they let you hash it out,
Excuse me.
and things along that nature. But they really want to hear and see how you hash it out, how you think basically.
So you can probably see like I'm making like a skeptical face. I see where you're going. So like, wait, finish your question, then I'll respond. Sorry, I'm like.
I just want to know, is that true? Because I heard different things from different people. So
that's really hard. Like, so this is something that like I found really annoying, and this is one of the reasons why I think a lot of us didn't end up like just working for the industry. Because Ashley, I remember I was there with you when I went to like right before I got the Microsoft offer, right?
Right.
And they were like, it's not really about what you know, it's about like the kind of thinker you are, and that's garbage. Like that is really nice. But I'm not Sherlock Holmes. Like I don't know what you're talking. Like maybe I think of the world in like ponies and butterflies. Like but I still have to be able to solve the problems.
Mhm.
So I hate personally, I really dislike like the mythos that it's like about how you think. Now, how you look like you're thinking is a totally different thing. Remember all those algorithms that like all those study materials that I talked about with you? If you go through those and somebody says that thing like, oh, hey, but what if the list were infinite and there were like random spaces in between it? Now you're really just like mixing and matching the problems that you already know to solve a problem. And that's the one. They're not looking for creativity. They're not looking for genius. They're not looking for like googliness. right? They can give that to you. What they want to know is like, have you seen these data sets before? Have you seen these data structures before? And can you make leaps between them? And I think literally everyone in the world, like if somebody goes, oh, just so you know that, like if I walked up to my little sister, she's like 17, she only uses an iPad. That is her primary computer. If I told her, hey, I have a list, best way to sort this list is with divide and conquer algorithm. She'd be like, okay, what is that? And she would like Google, you know? Like if you already know that stuff, the leaps between rote memorization and application are really small. And so I don't think it's really about like thought process so much. You know what I mean? I think like anybody can do it like with the right recipe.
So basically, you're saying it's more of not learning.
Rod.
Sorry.
What's up, Roddy?
Completely inappropriate. Sorry, JK.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. We just like interrupted you.
So it's more of. Cause I heard different things. So I heard like it's not how you think. I mean, it's not how much you know this. You need to know this stuff, but how you think about it, how you solve those problems. And then I heard, what else I heard? Shucks. I can't remember. I heard so many different things, and
I think the main thing that they're trying to convey, maybe, like, so I gave them a bad rap, right? But like one of the things that's kind of important is that it doesn't matter if you got the right answer. So I told you that I had like 6 interview questions with like 8 or 9 like people who I actually talked to. I'm gonna be honest with you. I killed the first one, right? Destroyed it. Like I was so I was like, you know what? That came straight out of the book. I'm a bam. Second question, I just missed completely. It was like this question about Sudoku, and I failed it. Like I actually could not solve what he was asking to solve. But that's okay because I discussed this with him. I drew it out on the whiteboard. I talked about a potential solution, and by the end, like, no, I could not like code the whole thing, but I coded the second best I could. So like they want to see that you're like highly communicative. Sorry, they want to see that you won't like freeze like a deer in headlights if you don't know the answer. Like, what if you like don't have any data structure that applies to this at all? You could like, if you just start like rattling out the ones you think are most applicable, then you'll do better than someone who just like, sorry, I don't know. But that's it. I think
they did tell me like always answer the question and just pass it up, whether it's wrong or not. They would rather see you get it wrong and hash it out.
Yeah, and you can tell them like, honestly. Okay, so I have no idea. Like I do that every time, right? Like if I don't know, I'm like gonna let you know. Just like disclaimer. Everything I'm about to say is gonna probably sound like BS because this is just like brainstorming right now. Because you stumped me. And that's a good thing. That's an okay thing.
So I had another question here. So you said they had barbers there, right?
Yeah.
Do they have any ethnically appropriate?
So, I don't know if you can tell by like how like fuzzy and nappy my hair is, but like I have not been to get a haircut. There's a trailer by by the one of the main restaurants, and I just walk by it every day. So like I've not got my haircut, but in the pictures, I see a lot of white ladies with scissors. So
okay.
I don't know. I'll have to I'll go inside and check for you.
That might work for you, Carl.
What's that?
White lady sisters. That might work for you.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what though? Try not. You know. Here's the thing. Like, I've seen a few. I've seen a handful of minorities that work for Google. Yes, I was going to use a different
term. There are
term.
500, by the way.
What? Yeah, 500.
Okay. Minorities is a broad term, okay?
Oh, so, black people, sorry.
There's
Yeah.
500. Okay.
Yeah.
I've only seen a handful, right?
Hmm.
I haven't seen any of them with a hairstyle that I'm just like, man, where did he get his cut at? Haven't happened. Now, that's not to say it doesn't exist. That's not to say maybe he went off campus to go get that taken care of. Haven't seen it. Some people like just a different hairstyle than me. And I'm saying this, haven't had my hair cut in like a month. But if the haircut's free, son, please believe every week
Do it.
get nails done. So
Actually, so I don't know if they're free. I think so. A lot of the Google services are like subsidized. So I feel like they cost like $5 or something.
That sounds
okay,
about right.
so,
They're
so
cheap.
every
$5 is a lot better than 12
For
plus.
real. 12,
12.
20.
That's cute.
15.
After tip, $20.
15
You
minimum.
Yeah.
you can't tip any of the people on service because Google pays like they don't make money off of your payment. That just helps them stay afloat. Google pays the employees of those places a lot. Like the valet people, no tip. No, you'll get in trouble. Like don't do that.
What?
Yeah, because it's like, oh, is he trying? If you tip him, they're like, yeah, get me that extra close spot. Look, I just bought my Lotus. People need to see that, right? Here's the
Yeah.
20. I can see people doing that. But so yeah, so I'm gonna say that's a little bit of a concern. Not to say that's gonna would impact my decision
Guys,
to
I'm
work there,
sorry.
but
Arbors are too white. I actually don't want to see the code for Google Now. I'm gonna hit the road. Bye.
who said that?
No, that was me. That was
Oh.
Cam. That would be hilarious.
Terrible. I know. Have you talked to some of the different um software black software developers?
No, so we were encouraged the first day to join diversity groups, and one of them that I joined was BGN, the Black Googler Network.
Yeah.
And there is a very pretty lady who added me on there, who keeps sending me emails, and I have not been paying attention to them because I haven't gotten to write enough code. So
Yeah. It's cool because because when we went, that's who actually met with us.
yeah, that makes sense. Like
Yeah. And
they're the
it was,
only people trying to get black people here.
and it was actually a lot. There was actually some people from FAM who actually are there.
Yeah. So I did a search like earlier. Hold on. Let me look. So there's a tool like internally where you can like look people up, and I'm about to look people up. Maybe FAMU will work. Probably not.
I was forwarding them. I don't know.
Nope. There's somebody whose name has FAMU in it though. Florida A. No people were found, but I know there's one guy who worked here because we found him. And
Real quick, Austin has a question inside the chat. It says,
Austin, what's up?
is Carl
Wish
cool
Austin
enough?
was on here.
It
Austin
says,
said he was gonna call me. This is a side note, but Austin, you said you were gonna call me, but then you didn't call me.
straight
On my last
disrespect,
day.
Austin. And it says right here, is Carl cool enough to work at
Heck shit.
Google? So it wasn't
Wow.
for you, Cameron, but I just thought that,
It wasn't
since
even
he's,
for me.
since he's one of our 5
feel like-
viewers.
Oh wow, that's
Don't even feel like that's a question. Feel like that's a statement, Austin. It's uncalled for. From one father to another shouldn't have happened. Just saying. Putting that out there. And I'm glad that you don't have video to defend yourself right now.
I'm about to invite him. So
He's about to appear.
Oh, this is about to get heated. I love it.
Oh man.
Am I cool enough? Clearly, I'm cool enough.
Honestly, I think you're like beyond cool. Like there are a lot of people who are just like squares, man. They're just like, I am here for work. They don't smile. They don't say goodbye. It's weird.
So
Very strange.
obvious, obviously, I don't know what that says. So obviously, we don't want to get you fired. You just started, but is like, what are you going to be working on, or what are you excited to be working on? And have you
Uh,
selected an activity for your 20% time?
yeah, so I cannot tell you specifically what I'm working on because it is a secret. Uh, but I can tell you that I'm going to be doing something that kind of would, like off the top of your head, it's like with Google, like Google Analytics, and it looks kind of like Google Docs.
Mm.
Like if you were like far away and it was blurry, you'd be like, "Is that Google Docs?" And you'd be like, "No, because there's numbers." Um, and I'm really excited because it's a totally new product, ground up. It's front end and it's working with AngularJS, which I'm actually not excited about.
Course.
Oh.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course, you're working with Angular. So, okay. This brings me up to my next thing. I don't know if they've clarified this for you. So, it seems like there is pull between Angular and web components, and I know you could sort of use them together, and they're like, yeah, we don't hate each other, we're not against you. You could use both of us, but I feel like the real long-term solution is web components, ES6 type of thing. Did they really address that to you?
Kinda. So we're like, we're gonna use what works now.
Which is Angular. Okay.
Yeah. Like,
So,
not Angular
yeah.
2, not
You're not
ES6.
using Angular
Like,
too? I
no,
thought I thought you'd
it's
get a little
not. It's
taste
not.
of that though.
We've so the team leads have attended like a lot of talks about it, but they're like, it's not done. So we're gonna use one. Then we'll see later.
They have a conference, do they not, Angular? When is that conference coming up? I thought that's when
I have no idea.
I heard speculation about that because that's when they're supposed to be like, here's Angular 2, guys, have fun.
Yeah, but so even at that point, we will be like, whenever that is, we will be some percentage of the way done. With what we're doing, and we can't start building on like something that's like still in. Oh, I dropped my headphone. We can't start building on something that's still in flux, and also something that is untested. So like because it's open source, people might find out like, oh crap, like you're like how you're handling like dependency injection is garbage or something like that, right? And they might change that. I can't. We can't afford that.
20% time.
20% time. I'm not so. The recommendation is don't work on anything in your 20% time until 6 months in, because you really want to get a feel for your team and how like fast you can go. Because they don't want you to work 100% on your project. They like actually want you to work less on your project. But your team like vouched for you. They invested in you, and they still don't know like how much you can learn and how fast you can learn. So. I'm not doing anything for a while, but when I do, I'm going to see if I can ask about something that has to do with AI and natural language processing or wearables, because that's interesting.
So have you grown out of love with augmented reality?
I
Or
haven't, but there's a company that Google acquired a couple of years ago who's doing that now, and also I haven't heard of what they're doing. So, so if they're gonna open up, because remember like Google X teams are like secret teams. I can't see their code, so I don't know what they're doing.
oh,
I'm
so they're
really
a Google
interested in
X
how.
team.
I don't know, but I know that so there's like different branches like within Google, and I'm in the software development branch. But then there's like a private branch as well. And hey, Austin, what's up? He has a lag, I think.
So you have to call somebody out there, Mr. Donaldson's.
Hold on.
Felt a little attacked, putting it out there.
But yeah, what are they even called? They're called like Light something. Google Light Play. It's got Light in the name. Lightroom, Light Touch, Light Play. I don't know. It's Magic. Or Magic Leap. That's what it's called. I don't know why I did that.
That is your bias towards that product.
That was pretty bad. Like I didn't even.
It's like Light. Yeah.
It's like I don't know. They're doing something. I've actually seen I was like just searching around internally, and I saw the tools and stuff that like I saw some of the demos that they're like working on, but I don't know. I don't understand like where they're going from here. So we'll see in 6 months. But no, augmented reality I don't think is over. Have you seen Microsoft's VR headset?
Oh, I got some plans for that thing.
You've used it?
Ideas.
I have not used it. I have not. Have you, Austin? Did you get to play with it at have you been seen it at Tech Ready or anything?
Did you go to Build?
No, I haven't been to Tech Ready since I went with you.
Did you go to Build?
No, I stood outside of Build. I saw people walking out of the convention center talking about it, and I was like, I don't work there anymore, so but that's all right. That timing was really interesting. It was like, now you want to be cool. Now you want to start making stuff. Okay, that's fine.
It seems like they're getting certain things in gear. It seems that way.
Yeah, Microsoft is really changing its culture. Satya is doing a great job. I really liked CVB because he was loud, but
I don't
think he was.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, and the thing is, he probably knows a crap ton about business. I mean, he's double-digit billions, so he can't suck at business too much, right? Or at all. But
yeah, I think the problem is not that he sucks at business, but that he wasn't a technologist.
Company. Exactly. He should have been running BPO, like some sort of business process outsourcing, like some document management company. Shouldn't have been running a tech company.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
who cares about
this
phones?
This is what you get after Bill. Bill, I miss you.
Bill's
then you get.
Something's happening to the quality of the feed for me. I think I don't have internet now.
No, it's just getting a little slow right now. Every time we add a person, it's gonna get like this.
Oh, that's right, because we're sharing.
You know, congratulations with the Clippers. I don't hate you. I'm very disappointed in the direction Microsoft went with at your tenure, though. I gotta say that. But I'm sure you don't care because you're a billionaire and your Clippers are doing awesome right now.
Yeah, did you see him cry? Did you see him crying? He was crying.
Don't talk about him crying. We were there. Yeah. That's not nice.
No, I'm not saying anything about. I'm saying that's how much he loves that team, and he just bought it. I don't understand. It's like a newborn child to him. He's like.
He cries about a lot of stuff, though.
Well, maybe he's just an emotional man. But
a lot of emotion.
The point is, he built that emotion up for a basketball team. I wouldn't have cried for my basketball team. I'd have been happy.
I want to spend $1 billion and not cry about it. I don't care about you.
Well, when you have as much money as he does, $1 billion, it's still a lot of money. It's a lot of money to everybody, but
that is a lot. That's 17% of what he's worth or something, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot of money, but I spend more than 17% of what I make that back rent.
5 years.
His leisure was 17% of his net worth. I'm spending a good chunk of my net worth on.
I'm just saying, if I bought a car for that much, I would cry about that car all the time.
I guess so.
life savings. If a scratch touched that car, if I get a Tesla, tears.
You know what's
Nothing but
tears is having one of those pull up next to you and Tallahassee. It just feels so bad. I was sitting right next to her.
How do they drive anywhere? There's no electricity.
I don't know how she did it, but she just pulled up to me. She just had to do it. Just had to pull up to me.
FSU has some charging spots.
Charging stations? Okay.
She pulled up to me in that all white
Charging
Tesla, and
station
I was like, "What is that?" And then I saw the T, and I was like, and I kind of got sad.
And on Tennessee in the Chipotle parking lot, there's some charging spots there too.
I think there's some over there by World Market too, or whatever. Not World Market. What's up? Whole Foods. That's what it's called. That place.
Wait, there's a Whole Foods in Tallahassee? Is it new?
Relatively. You were going.
Yeah, relatively.
I love Whole Foods. It's overpriced. Hippie food is fantastic.
But there's like a million stores
so
in Tallahassee now, though. There's like at least 5.
That's awesome. Whole Foods is the ish. I love Whole Foods. Like, it makes me feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm in California. And I haven't been to Whole Foods in California, actually.
You know what?
That's weird.
The fact that they run off with a Benjamin of my money, even if I'm buying a freaking Snickers and a bottle of water.
See, that's the thing.
I'm not very pleased when I go to Whole Foods. It's like, here we go. You're playing hipster music, folk. Little Mumford & Sons playing in the background, which makes it okay for you to go and pick my pockets.
That's exactly what you're paying for, actually, is the Mumford & Sons. That's it. Like, every time I go, I'm like, there's no Mumford & Sons in this store.
It's like, okay,
That's so terrible.
that's fine. Their employees are friendly, but they got to be hardcore hippie. Not hipster. They're not hipster. They got to be hardcore hippie in Whole Foods. And I'm like, they're clearly not paying you that much money. 1, because you don't look like it, and 2, you obviously don't care about money. But you care enough about money to take money.
Like Whole Foods treats its employees really well. Like it's ranked high on that the companies to work for thing.
Best companies to work for, yeah.
Yeah.
So is Publix. I should say that.
Jordan Culver.
I'm pretty sure they pay more than Publix though.
Yeah, they pay a little bit more, but that's just because you have to be able to buy Tweed. But Jordan Culver said that working for Publix was great.
Yeah,
awesome.
I think they do pretty good with the stocks and the quarterly bonuses. People dig that. That's what I hear. And I'm assuming Whole Foods does something similar.
Yeah.
Double-digit dollars an hour at Whole Foods?
Yeah, so we're approaching a full hour.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
I don't know how long we want to run this, but I mean we can all sit around after the broadcast stops too. So don't just think you have to drop off afterwards.
I do want to get it long enough just to hear from the Microsoft corner and hear what Mr. Donaldson has to say.
That's why we brought him on.
Especially since he lobbed shots offline. All of a sudden is now silent now that he's on the chat. Don't know what that's about.
I think Avery's acting up right now. I think that's why he's got.
No, it's Kellen's. To me, it's homework time and dinner time. That's why I don't join these hangouts too much. So, Cam, it's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you. You said you were going to call me. You were like, hold on, I'm going to call you right back.
Don't answer nothing. Don't lie.
Now, you may have called a couple days later, and then I didn't know where my phone was.
You left that tidbit off, Cam. You left that out.
No, that's a good point. That is a good point.
And once you went to Dell, I was like, you just really disappeared.
Man, so starting at Dell was like hard. Like Dell has that team has some serious troubles like within the company, and so I was working like good 60, 70 hours a week.
Oh,
nice. Good
no
stuff.
work-life balance at all.
And you moved to Austin.
But Austin knows this though. Like I don't have like a work-life balance. Like I have a problem. Like he'd be like, Cam, what are you doing? Shh, it's fine. I'm writing code. It's Sunday. This is my brunch. Like It's awful. But yeah, it is in Austin.
So, how did they feel about, you weren't on that team for particularly long.
So I was on the team for a year and 6 months because I was working there while I was at
Okay,
Microsoft,
okay.
and we got really close, and they started I don't know, like it was a really good role because they didn't know much about web. I didn't know much about web, but like they appreciated the work ethic, and so I became kind of a leader on the team, and like I was like front end lead, and that was awesome. But then what that meant was that they like really wanted what was best for me, but also they were like, hey, if you leave, like everything's gonna break. Like we don't know where the buttons go. Well, we're gonna hire someone to replace you. So like a couple months before, I was like, hey, Aaron's my boss. I really want this. I think I can do it. And he was like, I know you can do it. We're good. And so he hired this guy who's like 15 years older than me. He's really smart to replace me. The guy has like a lot. Like he's got some room to work on it because he doesn't deal well with change. But other than that, it was good. And the team is super happy for me. They called me yesterday to be like, I hope your Monday is going to be good. Like, let us know if you want to do any work on the side. Like, it's cool.
What? Look,
Yeah.
um, I might need to supplement my income just a little bit, So, willing to do something on the side. By the way, my employer overlords, just forget you heard that. Okay?
Well, of the 3 viewers that we have remaining, 4 again. This is oscillating quite weirdly. Of those 4 viewers, I doubt any of them work for Money Buckets, which is the code name. What do we call it? Money banks? Is that what we
I
called it?
don't know what they
Money
call it.
bags.
Money bags. We called it money bags.
It's
We'll
awesome.
do that.
Cam,
We could do that.
Yeah. So
Cam went to the dark side, but it's okay. It's okay.
This is not the dark side, man.
Right? We gotta be frenemies now. Yeah, he went to Google, but it's all good, As long as everybody's prospering.
You know what the worst part is? I think I would have been so all the smiling you've seen me do like for this whole talk. I think I would have been equally happy in Microsoft's product group, right?
Yeah, I knew that you were eventually gonna get there. I told you it was. You just didn't want to wait.
Yeah, I'm just really impatient.
But
Like that's
at the same
all
time,
this sucks.
but look, the same time it took you to get to Google, now you would have been in the product group if you would have stayed.
Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, but at the same time, it was like
It's all good.
the whole thing that happened was okay, Cam, we're gonna take you off this project that you really like, this project that I've been doing for the last year or so, and we're gonna put you on a SharePoint deployment project. And I was like, I don't think I can.
God.
oh no.
The resounding just, oh God, that just killed.
The whole, that is the whole, and really, I was not ready the first time I applied to the product group, right? I studied for 3 hours, I remember. I was like, oh, I got this. I'm good. She was just like, you're worthless. Get out of here. It was horrible. And then I was like, they didn't want me? What? And then on top of that, this whole SharePoint thing happened, and so I was like, I have to go to a team where I can learn. And then I did. I think if I had gotten to stay in the COE where I was a little bit longer, probably would have gone straight to the product group. That would have been awesome.
But you know what? You might come back. That might happen.
I don't know. We got HoloLens now.
That COE gig
Hey,
was high profile.
We're
I don't
on
think they know
Google
what that
Hangouts.
is.
Let's not talk about leaving
Yeah.
Google for Microsoft.
I'm actually, yeah, you're right. I'm actually using my corporate computer right now.
Yeah.
So am I.
And using their using their technology and their computer.
Wow.
Look,
Do you
Everywhere
ever
we
do,
see
man, you just lawyer up if anything happens.
Yeah.
Don't regret it.
Do they have
Somebody
those
said my name?
Have you found Dion?
on retainer there, Cameron? Like the doctors?
They do. They're down the street from the main campus, but that's the problem, right? If Google were suing me, my
Yeah, you
lawyer
would
is
have
now a Google lawyer, so I don't think I would win.
So maybe you should talk to the lawyer right now about what lawyer you
Talk ahead of time. Yeah. And no, I have not met Dion. I found him 5 seconds ago, like before we started this call. But
He's real cool.
yeah, so he lives in New York. It looks like.
Yeah.
He was in like a special intern project thing. I don't know, some kind of program he joined up to.
Yeah, let me look
Our
him-
IT intern went to Google too, from information galore. Isn't that what I said? I was gonna call it.
Yes.
Almost
secret company.
What an idiot. But anyway, from information galore, yeah, our intern, he went to. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows me, knows where I work, but that's what I want to talk about.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give him a shout out.
Yeah, do it. He's hard to catch up to, also.
So Cam's never met Mike. So never mind. Does anybody else know? AJ, do you know if anybody else knows about Mike that might be in the Bay Area?
Okay. First of all, you're gonna have to remind me who Mike is, and then I'll answer
That's
that
a
question.
tragedy. Okay, so he also worked at Information Galore.
Oh yeah, Mike. No, I didn't. You know, I only talked to Mike like a handful of times, so I don't know anybody else besides Tate Kennings who is not working. I mean, who is still working for Information Galore, but he is in North Carolina.
So yeah, Tate would know.
Yeah, Tate
Yeah.
worked with him pretty closely, so he probably would know him. Well, I mean.
Yeah. So who? All right. So let's say you're a recent CIS. Let's make it real. Yeah. You're a recent CIS student. Systems, and you're like, you know what? I want uncalled for.
Get out right now.
Look, me and Austin got to represent. We didn't want to spend 3,000 years in school or 3,000 hours studying. Those are the only two ways to get out of you guys' department. Unless you're Cameron, somehow you just make it out.
Well, this is definitely a jab as well as a compliment.
It's a compliment, yeah.
Schooling actually did it, so there's really no excuse.
You talking about healing?
Yeah, pretty much.
That is true. Healing did absolutely no work.
Before you say anything, just look at the bigger picture, Healing. Look at what I'm trying to convey.
I think he's saying he's got 4 fingers. Is that your backhand, Healing?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
He's British in the backhand.
Oh my gosh.
It's true, but not everybody shares the zeal that Carl has for math and science. Like, for people who aren't excited about that stuff, learning it takes twice, maybe 3 times as long, because it's like, oh, I got to commit this to memory, I got to commit this thought process and this, this way of thinking. It's not just memorizing, obviously. It's a way of thinking, and for people who don't have a love for it, that way of thinking is
right. Because Healing, this guy just daydreams about linear algebra.
He has a favorite equation. Like, anytime somebody tells me they have a favorite equation, I'm disappointed in them. That's how I feel.
There's no disappointment in that. Look, you just, yeah, I do. E to the pi I equals -1. That's just, like, that
I'm sorry, is this an irrational equation?
Well, it's a complex equation. So, yeah, it's irrational. So pi is irrational.
This hurt my feelings.
But that, just think about how mind-blowing is that. E, irrational number, raised to a complex irrational number equals an integer. Boom. What? That's what I'm talking about.
And you know what that means to me? Math. That's all I heard.
Anyway, it's beautiful. But what you just map it to your world, map it to reality, and it's almost not learning anymore. It's good.
No, you actually have to enjoy it. Like, I don't care about mapping it to my reality or whatever.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's just the learning it, like just forcing myself to read, and read. Kanye wants to get in real quick. Let me put him.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I try not to read when at all possible, but that's bad. I know that's bad. Don't judge me. Whatever.
It's bad. That's really rough.
So, but to finish the statement slash question, recent grad, CIS systems graduate, and you're like, you know what? I want to be a Google software engineer. So systems, you don't have as much theory courses. Uh, in your opinion, how long will it take from a studying standpoint, and what sort of things do you think people should be studying that might not have taken the computer science track but are really interested in going in that direction?
I'm thinking about it. Sorry.
No, it's cool.
So it really depends on the person, how much they're willing to put into it, and what their aptitude is. I really feel like the kind of person who I can see like studying like I just described to you guys, and then getting into Google as a software development engineer, like first go, is the kind of person who would probably want to have taken computer science courses anyway. It's just like what AJ was saying, like if you don't enjoy it, like if you like what I did was like passion of like love or labor of love, right? It was like I gotta get this, like I have to have it, and I can't imagine that happening for someone who is just like, you know, like I
Well,
could take it or leave it.
I saw, so I felt like I came across at least a few people that were actually pretty enthralled in programming, but weren't so enthralled by, you know, what they deemed to be extraneous courses, like the math courses. They weren't necessarily
Okay.
dead set against taking the theory, but along with the theory came
Yeah.
Calc 1, 2, 3, linear algebra, et cetera, et
That
cetera.
was kind of my boat. Like before, I didn't know what I wanted
Okay.
to do as soon as I got into college, and then by the time you figure out what you want to do, you're almost graduating, and so you're like, oh, I have to stay an extra year? No. So that's kind of
Okay,
what
so that
my
makes
issue
sense.
is.
So I felt like I came across at least a few people that
What's up,
actually
man?
pretty enthralled in programming, but
We definitely have your
oh,
video, your
yeah,
audio coming through your mic, Kanye.
incredibly delayed, by the way.
Yeah, it was time loop. It was pretty cool.
Well, it should be delayed though, like that. When I watched it on my computer, it was the same. I'm just wondering how many of the people in this chat are also viewing it, because that's really skewing the numbers. This might be it. This might be all the viewers and chatters.
Well, I'm not viewing it on YouTube. That's just
Neither am I, but I mean that's still. I mean, what is there? There are 8 of us now, and if only half of us are viewing it, then that's it. That's all the viewers.
yeah. So yeah, were you done with your answer? Yeah.
Not really. So yeah, like I was thinking about it while we were talking. So like, for someone who really likes coding and really likes data structures and manipulating them, but doesn't like math, I think you could get away with it. Definitely, first of all. So that's good. And then the second the second half is a year of like diligent studying, 2 problems a day, and maybe taking like 1 day a week to like learn the data structure you're learning about. Yeah, I think you could do it.
So
Like ground up though.
Okay, so let's say it was me, right? I was a systems major and, you know, didn't have the math, didn't have the theory. How long do you think, not 4 hours a day like you, let's say 2 hours a day, just, you know, taking it in, not super aggressive, but 2 hours a day. How long do you think it would take to be like, okay, time for an interview. I have a good chance of at least making it to second round.
Oh, you specifically?
Well, just because you said it was pretty arbitrary depending upon whatever.
Yeah.
The type of person. So you have some context with me. I didn't want to put anybody else on the spot, so it was just me. So
Yeah, but
my
so
feelings
the
were
problem is
pre-heard.
like you have, yeah. Let's just say like you didn't take any of your algorithms classes and stuff like that. Just subtract all of that out. And honestly, FAMU, the classes they make us take don't hammer it in. Like they don't hammer our data structures into our heads. Like when you guys like see words, nobody here sees a parsing tree. Like I mean, maybe you do. Like maybe like you look at a sentence and you're like, whoa, like I could build a dictionary out of that, like for faster lookup later. Like, no, I don't. So I don't think it really makes a difference. I think
That
for
happened
you,
once, that's right? So that happened with
really,
Riggs, but you were never in Riggs class.
Oh, good.
never went, never.
But that happened once, and it was Riggs where, the dictionary stuff, and that's
Yeah, like
probably
formal
the most
languages.
rigor as far as thinking about these data structures and thinking them in a language appropriate way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, agreed. That didn't really happen much.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah,
that
but
happened to me too.
what do you say?
That actually happened to me too, but it was dealing with cybersecurity.
Oh, that's
Um,
pretty cool.
I was watching a show and I was thinking, oh, well, they can do this, and that. And lo and behold, that's exactly what they said.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Carl, three months.
3 months?
Yeah, like if you just didn't know your data structures, 3 months could get you to the first interview. And you have another maybe 3 months to round it out, you know?
Okay. So,
Yeah, the thing is you like still need to know everything that you need to know for that first interview. You just don't have to have it down perfectly. You can have some spots here or there. They just have to believe that given a month or two, you could finish out your education.
so this is interesting. So,
So you mean I could BS like I did all through? Are any teachers? Does anybody know if any teachers are doing this? Because I don't. I could like BS like I did through school.
if
Like
you're
the
gonna
whole
go to
thing.
grad school, just don't go to FAMU. That's simple.
Well, thanks, Carl. Makes me feel so.
Well,
No, it wasn't a diss against FAMU. It's about what he's about to say. Drop the knowledge. It's
yeah,
about the students
I
here.
was
It's
just
not about
saying
the
like,
teachers.
because like once you get in this, I feel like this about all school pretty much. It's like there's like a way you can game the system, learn how to make good grades without like you can find your like minimum effort for good grades, and then that's all you do. And I don't feel like that's the kind of mindset you should have if you're trying to get a job at Google.
Oh no.
Yeah, that really
Actually-
sucks. Because school is like free learning time. Like so everybody knows
For
that
some
I didn't go to
people, for some
class.
people it's free.
Yep.
Everybody, that's true. That's true. It wasn't always free. I apologize. Ashley's like, it's cool. I got it too. Anyway, but it's like time where you don't have to,
Shut up, man.
it's time where you don't have to do anything else. Like you can just, like you're just there to learn. You know, you're there to get better. You're there to like get to the point where you can destroy a Google interview. That's what it's supposed to be about. But that's not.
It ends up not being that way though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of we've all had these discussions off chats or whatever, like face to face about how the process is kind of become strenuous and like just there's just a point in which you wish you could just learn and you could just take knowledge without having to worry about your actual I guess place. Like it's too much of a capitalistic mentality to it now. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's not about just absorbing information, which I feel like school was like initially that's how it started. It's just about absorbing information and having everybody on the same level. Now it's more about like if you deserve to be here kind of thing. And I get what it does. It pushes the cream to the top or whatever. But most people, you get a lot of hustlers in there. People who really they're like, I know if I have this, it looks like I'm the cream. And you're not necessarily, I know a lot of people who are working way better jobs than me right now, making way more money, who I definitely help with their programs. But it's not no dig against them. That's the way the system's set up. You do what you got to do to get where you want to go.
It's a group effort. Yeah.
Exactly, but I just know people like that who are making good money, and I'm like, yeah, how is that happening? How are you?
AJ,
But they're hustlers, bro. Say what?
you preaching to the choir right now, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying like the fact that school allows for that, like you can just be a hustler.
Austin said he was my homie in C++.
I feel like me and Austin were like, yeah, but me and Austin had a group of people around us though in C++.
I feel like I could have done what Cameron did and just coded it.
Okay,
Don't do
well,
that.
I'm not gonna
That was
lie to
horrible.
anybody and say that I'm a motivated individual. That would not have happened. I would have found 1,000 other things to do. I mean, I like school. I like going there. I like learning. I like being around other people who are interested in the same things I'm interested in and learning. You know, like Robert said, the group effort. But I just feel like once you start trying to make me compete, I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm going against the grain or whatever, like struggling against it, because I just don't like being forced or feeling like I'm forced to do something.
Well,
So
So
who do you
then-
feel like you were
gotta
competing
realize is,
against?
nobody makes it out alone. You know, everybody has his peer-to-peer program, and there's always somebody to review something that you've done before or whatever to make it better or to give you some feedback.
My
And
job feels nothing like
That
that.
never happened for me, but that was probably my fault.
No, I'm
Yeah, same.
yeah, man,
What
gotta
was
get
your
in and up.
fault? What was your fault, Hewlin, was not doing homework.
Yeah, yeah,
Homework,
He said it, not me.
look, homework is horseradish, right?
No, it's
Look,
Wait.
this is how I think it should be.
Isn't this chat for like future like graduates of FAMU? Isn't that what we set it up for?
Look,
Do your homework.
okay,
All right,
listen
disclaimer,
here,
everybody.
future and current students of CIS. Let's hear this, right? There is no homework in your career. Now, homework is important to get the grade. You need to get the grade so you can get the internship, so you can get the job. Do what you need to do to get past it. But don't be confused in thinking this homework is going to set you up for success in life. It will not, okay? If anything,
he has a
you
point.
guys will work in groups, right? Groups, and one or two people out of the group will knock that out for you, and you get your A, feeling good, and you still suck.
AKA me and Austin in
That's not-
fundamentals. It was
That's not
us.
how it's supposed to be, though, right?
That's fine. I agree, which is why I hate homework, right? So,
But if you just did the homework by yourself, like, because if you just did it, like, I don't know, I learned some cool stuff from doing
doing homework by yourself is not the answer. Doing homework in a group is not the answer. The answer is for the individual to just be motivated enough to learn, which I don't know how you make that happen. But that's not really the point. Like, this is, as far as homework, I feel like classes have tests, classes have homework. You choose which one you want your grade to be. If I'm going to be the person I'm like, you know what? Test all day. Don't expect me to bring home homework. I'm killing it on your tests, baby. Come on.
but the homework is just something to throw in like a side note to keep you occupied, so to speak. So
I don't need to be occupied. I
sometimes
need
you
to
don't
know
need
the
just like
material.
just like in life or whatever, like it's certain curveballs that's thrown at you, right? You know, certain things that you can anticipate for. So for instance, like you're late for class, you park somewhere on campus you're not supposed to park. Guess what? You get a ticket, you get a boot or whatever. Now that's money that you really didn't have or whatever that now you got to spend to get your car unbooted or from the tow shop. Everybody done experienced that, right?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so
yeah, I've been
I don't disagree with that, right? But if we're talking about FAMU teaches you enough about the unfairity of life just dealing with foothillier already. So I don't put that in class.
and tambourine, not
What I'm
sugar.
saying is the purpose of school for me is to learn the material and to demonstrate that I've done so. And if you're the type that needs homework to do that, and you're maybe not a good test taker, you struggle with test anxiety, that's fine. Homework is there for you. You turn in that homework. You and the professor come to an agreement. Like, look, I came to your office hours. I did this homework. I'm doing this homework. Boom. If you're the type that like that homework is not really for me, I'm never gonna do it. Test, baby. and I do well on
No,
the test. What's the
so
problem?
remember that you just before this call, Carl,
Yeah.
you had to put those servers in staged, right? Or like you had the stage in
I should
or
check on
stand-in
them.
servers.
I hear pings and I just ignored it. Oh crap! I probably have to take them out of stand-in. Yeah,
That's
keep going.
homework.
Sorry. I'll fix that right now.
It's homework
Keep
that
going.
you're doing right now. Like maybe you don't think that
Not
it's
homework.
valuable to you.
It's not homework.
But
Are
see,
you at home?
okay, this is my thing.
No,
The way it seems in college is like homework is built for the worst case scenarios, like built for the weakest student, and then everybody else just has to do it because the weakest student has to do it. Because what it is, cause I remember there are certain classes that if you're struggling, and the homework is a real good help, and all the little quizzes in the morning are good help. But for the people who are doing well on the test, that's just it's just like I obviously get the concept. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, but I didn't want to say the name because I don't want people to have to start throwing,
You know exactly what you're talking about, so you start saying
Yeah,
it.
but I don't
say it.
look. I'm not gonna say it because
He's like, I still go.
basically what I was saying is that some people didn't need the homework to do well on the test. Therefore, they grasped the concepts because that's what the tests are for, right? To test how much you grasp the concept. So those people didn't need the homework, but they still had to do it. So it's like I get it. It's not there's no harm in learning more or practicing what you're learning, but it does take away from some of the excitement. Like it's like
see, to me there was harm because now that I'm out of school, I learn a crap ton more, right? Because I don't have to do all this other stuff just to say I did it. Like I just get right into what I want to learn, and I'm learning a crap ton right
These are
now.
all symptoms. These are all symptoms of how hard the classes were, though. Right?
I don't think they were hard.
Saying that homework is useless, it's just like, yes, homework exists.
Didn't say that. Didn't say that.
Well, no, you did not say that homework was useless, but homework. AJ was saying that homework exists for like kind of the students who need that extra push. So when we were in Evan's class, if you did not do those problems, man, like I don't even know how you passed. Like I don't do homework. Like, I do not. I did her homework because I was failing. Like,
I did not do
I never
homework.
went as far as you guys did in Evan's class because I was in system, so I only had to take discrete one.
Lucky SOB.
Systems.
Yeah, discrete
There
to
was-
foundations.
I didn't do any homework in discrete one.
Foundations I loved.
I did zero homework in discrete one, and I still did good. I did good on all my tests because I knew the concept, so the concepts made sense. Obviously, discrete two I've heard is the hardest one, which I wanted to take. It just wasn't in my plan to get out of school on time or even close remotely on time. So, like, that's the only reason I didn't. I wanted to take every single theory class, but I couldn't take them because of just my my schedule. But in the first discrete, I didn't do any homework. Like, I never did.
The first discrete was too easy. The first discrete was too easy. Like the difference between discrete one and discrete one was taught by
Chapman.
Chapman and Evan.
Yeah.
Oh, you could do Chapman.
Well, Evan, she taught mathematics for computing.
Which is
Which is discrete one. It's the
Just
same.
equivalent. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Actually,
I think
it's
Dr.
not
Evans was
equivalent.
discrete one.
Hers was
I don't think it's completely equivalent. They
Hers was
cover a lot
harder.
of the yeah.
So mathematics
It
was
was
computing
Evans.
was harder than discrete, right? Exactly.
Yes,
So,
because of the
Evans.
because ours was supposed to be harder.
It wasn't based on the material though.
It was
it was Evans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hardcore. But my point was just that like that class was too easy. Like the reason homework felt stupid for you sometimes, Carl, was because they weren't pushing you enough. That's it. Like that's a problem with like the way classrooms work. That's not a problem with like homework.
I still feel like
No. See, I go right now, right? If I go until I get it, and that's why I don't think it should be. I get it that what I feel doesn't really scale. I understand that, but I really feel like it should be individualized with the student and the teacher. Like, look, even for this particular topic, you know what? I'm erring a lot on homework. I'm not really getting it in class. Probably won't perform that well on the test, but look at the homework I'm doing. Let's come to an agreement. So, and then on other times, it's like, completely got it, test me all the way, just don't even look for any homework. I really feel like I don't know how to really make that work in real life and to make that scale because I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But that's that's how I feel about like just blanket homework and just say it's good for me like Wheaties. Wheaties taste terrible. I don't like that. Like that slows down my learning personally. Like I don't learn more
It
doing
does.
that.
Like, how does it like? So I felt like I don't feel like I've learned more since I left school.
I
Like, I
I
mean,
definitely
I'm
have.
learning. I'm learning a lot, but I don't think it's because I have more free time at night. I watch more Netflix at night now, but like homework, like things that like inspire rote memorization, they either get really easy because you're already so good, or they're taking up too much time because you're not quite where you need to be. And I
So,
feel like if you're doing math and it's taking too long, like you don't have that. It's not like in your head yet. It's not like
Agreed.
cemented. So homework should become trivial if you're like destroying the test. Now it wasn't for like people like Evans because I didn't really get it. Like I could get it on her tests because she'd explain the crucial. Like she wouldn't tell you that she was doing it, but she would go back and explain the crucial problems shortly before the test. And I was like, oh, I know how to do that.
Exactly.
But I didn't understand the
That's the
core
type of questions you
nugget.
put on there. The ones that you go in the office hours and talk about, or the more that the more the everybody asks questions about.
And
Yeah.
see, with Evans, okay, so I finally got comfortable with her rhythm, and that was a thing for me. Like, I really appreciated that she didn't really do home, like she assigned homework, but she didn't test it. So I didn't have a problem with
Oh, I
how
see.
Evan's class went because she
Hmm.
gave quizzes. I'm not mad at her how her class went. You know, I didn't always agree with teaching styles, whatever. That's fine, different strokes. But I'm not mad at how her class went. She's assigned homework every day. Cool. Did I do it? Absolutely not. Sometimes, sometimes, it was a tragedy on the quiz. Sometimes it was fine on the quiz. But guess what though? By test time, it was okay. I passed her class first time. It was fine.
Yeah.
So if people do it like Evan's class, I'm golden. That's good. I'm loving life. If it's
But
like Miss
is there any
Chapman's
class
class,
that you
even though,
failed
I
because you didn't
really
do the
like Miss
homework?
Chapman, I don't like that she's like, here's some homework, here's some worksheets. Oh, by the way, you actually have to turn this in for grade. I don't want that. Assign it. Fine, assign it. Don't grade it. I don't.
So,
So do an Evans
are,
approach homework, basically.
Absolutely. I
but
love
is there
that.
any class where that like destroyed you? Like, are you like I'm only where I am now because of homework? Like,
What
those
did
homeworks count for like
did doing
20%.
homework ruin me? You're saying?
Yeah, I just don't. I told you, like I just
No,
didn't do
but
homework.
again, I will
You can get
say,
away
I
with
will
it.
say to you that I did not learn as much as I'm learning now because I'm not doing homework. I could just do the meat and get what I want out of what I'm learning because I
But
actually
you don't have to do the homework. Like,
really
no, what I'm saying is like in order to pass the class, there's almost no class, like two or
Miss
three
Chapman's
maybe.
class. Miss Chapman's class. Yeah.
In Chapman's class, I didn't do the homework. I did only projects in Miss Chapman's class, and Miss Chapman would be like,
So
"What are
okay.
you doing?" And I'm
So
like, "I'm not
depends
gonna
on the
do it."
class, right? So
Yeah.
um, so database.
Um,
If you did none of the homework, you could pass, but you weren't gonna pass with an A.
Nope. I
So
did not pass with an A.
well, there you go. So I kind of wanted that, and uh, I think I got that. I don't even remember, but there was a lot of the labs that I didn't do. So you do the little spool file thing. Didn't
yeah.
do not a one of those. Didn't do it.
Hey, Carl?
Most of the worksheets you can
Never.
knock it out before class, so I'm a before class type of guy. Boom.
In the
Terrible.
But
sunroom, I saw it.
Sounds
Yeah.
like
Terrible.
I wasn't.
We are
It's not
not
like I'm
setting good
cheating. It's
examples.
not like I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, hey
we
guys.
should cut this feed off. We're like
Yeah.
ruining posterity right
No,
now.
no. Look, these kids aren't babies. They know what time it is. They're doing the same thing.
And let me tell you this. The stuff that Carl's talking about, is nothing compared to what people are doing in the department now. Trust me.
It's
And
worse.
let me emphasize, I was not
No.
cheating.
Oh snap!
Yeah, that's not cheating.
I
Don't
just
cheat.
did what my brain liked, and sometimes I did stuff I didn't like. But
I
what's
don't
going
know if
on,
she's
AJ?
still on, but Doris says hi, and Brian Johnson is here as well. I have not been moderating this Q&A. I'm so sorry.
AJ, you just
Oh man, I've been talking to y'all. See, this is what happens when I get in. I was trying to stay out and monitor, and then
So what you're saying is there's no reason for there not to be video right now?
no, I'm saying this is the reason that I was doing. You know what? I'm going off this. Going dark, guys.
He lured you in, and you took that bait just like a fish.
hook, line, and sinker.
No, but I really think there's a thin line in between, knowledge versus actual application. And I believe, some people learn, better through just regurgitating information, and other people learn better through like hands-on experiences. So I
Yeah.
think like the homework actually gives you more of a hands-on experience before you actually take the test. The test is just like, a knowledge dump. So just like, okay, well, what about this? What about that? Okay, you know about this? Okay, you get an A. Versus the actual homework where you have to actually go out and, participate in a lab or possibly do an assignment out of class, to take you out of your element.
That's
That
why
makes total sense.
That's why I don't like tests, because it's like you said, it's just a knowledge dump. It's just you are spitting out everything that you learn to get a grade for it. I'd rather have something to where you have a hands-on activity that tests your knowledge of it.
Yeah, but that's just it though. You got to realize like everybody's different. So.
I completely agree with that. That's why I said I don't. How I feel, I get that that might not scale, and there may not be a legit way to implement that.
Right.
But I'm not saying homework shouldn't exist for anybody. I'm just saying for me, I'm proving it to myself. I'm slowing down because I couldn't do nearly as much Android stuff. I'm trying to not learn, but become familiar with like Kubernetes. So that's some new open source container stuff that Google is they recently open sourced. That seems pretty freaking cool. So you could pretty much wrap up your own software stack into a container, and you can just deploy an entire infrastructure in one point. Sexiness, right? So I'm trying to get acquainted with, but like that couldn't happen for me with school, only to a small degree because I'm doing homework, and that works for some people. That for what I wanted to learn, and for what I needed to succeed on the test or in that class, homework was more of a detriment than an aid to me. That wasn't always the case, but in most classes that was the case for me.
Well, some of the experience that I've been through since out of school is like while you're in school, it's like you don't have the money to do certain things, right? But you have all the time in the world to learn.
Yeah.
So when you get out of school, you have a job now, whatever, you're bringing in money or whatever, and like now you have more of a devotion towards waking up every day at the same time, clocking in at a job and learning information. So now when you learn things, you learn it underneath your own power, versus being, told to learn something or study this chapter, you got a test in a week, or do this assignment, it's due, 3 days from now. So now you're learning on your own accord versus being forced to be within the structure to learn.
Agreed.
Doris agrees with you, Carl. She said that she mentioned something about Rage Against the Homework and
boom, baby,
projects. The homework and projects is basically, yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't like projects. Projects are awesome.
It depends on your group.
No group necessary.
That was systems with Granville.
Projects.
Oh God.
Projects is with Alex.
Please don't bring that class up. Please.
No.
Granville was cool, man. Granville was cool.
Yeah, when he wasn't forgetting at 8 o'clock in the morning that he had a test to give out.
Guess money. I already had to edit one of these videos.
Why are you editing?
Granville's awesome.
Explain, and then after the broadcast, we can say whatever we want.
Granville is great. I'm glad he's tenured.
No, he's not.
All this editing.
Oh wow.
I mean, we got 3 viewers. Just hope he's not one of them. You could have hurt somebody's feelings.
Why would his feelings be hurt?
Because
He clearly
felt
did not
the-
think what
he
he
could
clearly
feel
didn't
the
value anybody
sarcasm
else's
dripping
opinion
from
about
your
him.
voice.
All right, man. Granville gonna come looking for you, man. I ain't gonna protect you when he do. All right.
I don't think he cares what I say, because, well, I'll stop there.
Granville be fine.
No, real talk, man. I feel like
the chat
everybody's
is definitely
experience.
live.
Huh?
I was just telling Austin because I don't think he realized that. Yeah, this is all live. We have 3 viewers, but I'm assuming that 3 of those viewers are sitting right here in this chat with me.
No, he could be watching. I didn't say.
Let me ask you a question though.
All I said,
No,
I
I
don't
got
think
you
he
here.
cared what I
And I didn't say anything negative either.
And Grandpa got a new truck.
Yep, so did.
He has a new truck?
Yeah.
Did.
Was it a 4x4?
It's
What does that have to do with anything?
No. I don't know. I'm just curious, you know.
I believe it is.
Yeah, it's a brand new F-150.
F-150. Ford tough.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. It's pretty decent.
That's Ford tough.
Well,
Yeah, that was crazy.
obviously, the few people that were watching, if they're still watching, I apologize for not monitoring the Q&A. I was sucked into conversations with these people, and
Speaking of which, I think I came up a little short with that too, because I was supposed to be monitoring the Twitter account, but I don't think anybody tweeted.
which is,
Yeah.
I mean, there was only 12 people were scheduled to watch, but I assumed the number would be a little lower. I mean, people got things to do, so. But yeah, I apologize for not monitoring the question. I would have known earlier that I don't even know when they sent these questions in, to be honest.
There isn't a timestamp with it?
No, not anymore. Austin's had a timestamp, so I knew when Austin sent his in, and that's why I grabbed them, but these don't. So I'm sure they're wherever. Sorry, guys.
Are you good?
So, Sir Robert, where are you working right now? Well, you don't have to name the company, but what kind of things are you doing?
Yeah, we give monikers. We don't name the companies.
Well, monikers. What is it? I can't even think of ours now.
You don't have to. Just
Yeah.
what is it that you
name
do?
it a color, Project X. I don't. Nobody really cares. Just what do you do there?
Built for it. There you go.
Okay. I think I know where you work anyway, though. But sure.
So basically, I handle all the data, the telematics data. So for instance, a lot of information comes from different equipment, right? So all that information comes through different sensors that's out there on the equipment in the field, and it comes through satellite, and we redirect it and we put it into Hadoop servers for potential future analytics or data analytics to do preventative maintenance. So for instance, if a particular machine is in the field and it's been running for, let's say, 10 hours, we have a failure rate of 11 hours, we can notify that particular customer or client and tell them, like, hey, well, if you leave that machine running for another 2 hours, it's gonna blow up. Well, not blow up, but it's gonna fail. And so I'm like the middleman in between that process.
Okay.
And I've learned a lot, Linux administration, a lot of different tools, a lot of different tricks as well. Getting a super user is definitely helpful. Becoming a super user is definitely helpful. But I mean, besides that, I still learn on my own. I still read a lot of different books. If you guys are interested in, my library, I'll show you guys. So I just make sure I read book about personal growth like once every 2-3 months. And my current one now is this one right here, Dynamic Thought. Yeah, I see that.
Who's the author?
Oh,
Henry Thomas Scroll to the side. I can.
that right there is a good one.
Okay.
What was the last name? Henry Thomas who?
Hablin.
Hablin.
Okay.
Hamblin.
Okay.
That's a very good book. Hey, since all of y'all, I got another. Hold on. I got this one over here. This one is a real good one.
Okay, well, just to prove that I'm not dropping the ball, Doris just sent in a question. This is the Q&A, by the way, that they're sending in these comments, saying AJ dropping the ball. So, thanks, Doris, if you're still watching. Thanks for that.
Never fails.
Okay, wait till Robert comes back. I have a question.
Go ahead. I'm still looking.
So
Actually,
the real question is, Rod,
What?
look,
What's going on?
haven't seen you in a few hot minutes.
I haven't seen him in a fortnight. Is that right? Is that how you say that?
That is
Yeah,
correct. A
pretty much.
fortnight.
But it's actually been longer than that, Rod. I just wanted to say that.
You know, Rod pops up every fuchsia moon.
I've never seen Rod, actually. I don't even know who that guy is.
What?
So never.
I just saw you, last year, AJ?
Yeah, last Rod. We live in the same city, man. We live in the same city.
What do you mean? I saw you 5 years ago.
I haven't seen Rod since last graduation, man.
Last
He was
year.
doing ghost stories, man.
I'm sorry.
Look, let me tell you right now, Rod. You can never say I just saw you and then put last year next to that. Not with human lifespans.
Now, if this was like January the 3rd, then maybe that would have flown. But
It's only May. I mean,
It's only
we got time. We got time to catch up.
Rod hasn't seen me since we worked on IAIP.
That's not true. Absolutely false.
It's been a minute. I know that. I was
No,
like,
it has.
yeah.
so.
All right, guys. I found a book or whatever.
All right.
It's called Kanumta to Computer. All right.
And that means
I'll read off the extract to you too. You guys copy that down.
yeah.
Or just type in the chat.
So basically, like Kanum and Ptah are like gods or ancient Egyptian gods or whatever that they pretty much stole the idea of computers from. So for instance, like did you know the pyramids were actually like analog clocks that kept time?
Yeah.
So the way they did it or whatever is like they studied the sky, in reference to the sun and how many times the Earth went around the sun, so to speak. So each one of the pyramids kind of represented a particular time. So for instance, like you can stand at a certain point, by one of the pyramids and judge like what month it was. So for instance, every astrological sign was associated with some type of event within the year. So for instance, the astrological sign Aquarius, for instance, Aquarius represented the rainy season or whatever. The Virgo, she represented the actual harvesting season. So you knew, when you looked up at the sky at night, you seen, the different astrological signs, and from there you can predict like what type of season that you were in. So whether it was time to harvest, whether it was time to, grow crops and whatnot. So this right here, it kind of tells you like an overview of like everything. Like there's some real deep shit in here. Deep stuff in here.
I'm sure everybody watching this is old enough to hear those words.
Oh yeah. Oh, everybody's grown. Y'all fine. I ain't got no movies. Yeah, there you go. That's the right one. Kanum to Computer presents a comparative analysis between a variety of concepts and questions and practices found in African cultures to topics related to the field of computer science. The African origin of binary code, logic, computers, programming, robotics, cyborgs, androids, virtual reality are all examples of what I would show the relationship between two between the and common that meets the eye. So it's just like I finished this book and it gave me a different insight of what history tells you.
Yeah, the people who write history.
Look, history is written by the winners. We all know that. That's the way it works. So I feel like we've run the gambit real decent on this. I'm gonna check the questions real quick before I go though, because I've been dropping the ball.
Last call for questions, viewers. Last call.
I have a question, Cameron.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I was on mute and I was trying to find my button.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to actually look at Project? I think it's Project Phi? Five.
Yeah,
Five.
I have.
Project Loon.
Loon.
So there's not a whole bunch of code for those because they're like really physical and like administrative. So for everybody who hasn't heard of it, Project Phi is Google's. It's like a partnership between T-Mobile and Sprint to give you more 4G coverage and seamlessly switch between those. I have no interest in it because I don't even know what the code I would look at that for. Like the SIM card's going to be different. Like I don't know.
Not necessarily code, just like
if I've heard of it.
If you got a chance to actually, play with it, like actually, I don't know.
I signed up. There was something on campus like, "Hey, early access to Project Phi," and I was like, "Yeah, sure," but like, I don't know.
Yeah,
okay. It's gonna be good cell coverage.
So they haven't really done. Okay.
Nexus 6.
Yeah, I do not have a Nexus 6 either. They said they would give me one. That was mostly my motivation, actually. But in Project Loon, there's like nothing behind that. It is like balloons in space. I don't know. I don't live in Africa, so it's kind of hard for me to test them, too.
Oh, is that where most of it is?
I got a question.
Go for it.
Okay, I got these glasses, right? When are these coming back in style?
Oh wow.
Never.
They are not. So they didn't cancel the project at all. They just need time to like. So what happened? One thing that really sucks is at Google there's this this policy of like don't push it out there until it's ready, apparently. And so phones you can keep in your pocket, but like glasses they're on your face, and so everybody saw it and we're like, when's that coming out? And they were like, you could totally have it. That's not what they're gonna look like at all. Like the thing you have in your hand is like it's not done. They just made it pretty. Product. Yeah, not at all. So I have no idea, but I'm thinking probably like yes is like in the next 2 years, but.
I think they said they were trying to look at the other glasses that are actually out there and try to make it better.
They're going to completely redo it. That little like prism showing the display, it's not what they were going for.
Like, there's two others that I looked at and they look a whole lot better. Like they're like Carl's glasses, but you can actually like me and Carl's glasses, but you can actually have a heads-up display.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
I haven't seen them.
I heard that project team, whatever, sort of got gutted from the standpoint where it's under new leadership. I think it's the Nest CEO is overseeing that project now.
Yes.
Google Glass, and it's getting totally redesigned. From also what I heard is that they hired new designers. So I don't think they're necessarily firing who was there, but
all the
input.
All the X projects are like they're time constrained, so you only have 2 years to do as well as you can with your idea, like to take it as far as it can go. And Glass got away from the team that was in charge of it like really quickly. They went like every week they had a different prototype. They showed it like during our first day, like now it's glasses with a screen on it. Now it's just a phone on your face. Like it was ridiculous. And so they were not done. And then I think Larry or Sergey went and wore it one time, and people were like, "I want that." And so they just spent the rest of their prototyping time polishing up something that was not anywhere near ready. And so now their 2 years is up, their time is up, and they brought in another team to work on what's clearly a popular concept. They just didn't like the execution of it. But I'm not sure how much of that is like the canned response that they want me to tell you. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I heard.
Yeah, it sounds right, but my recruiters told me this, so I don't know if I'm being brainwashed. I don't know.
Well, you got that Google hat on, so maybe doing it right now.
All right, I got one more question.
Yeah.
So since you moved out there to California, to the Bay Area, how have you adapted to the cost of living and the expenses that you occur out there?
I have not. I haven't. So.
Are you eating a lot of kale? I heard that.
I am eating a lot of kale actually, but remember, I eat free, so I don't have to worry about it. But gas yesterday was $4.
But wait a minute, $4 a gallon?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I
Oh,
don't
gosh.
Is it bad that you got a fire over there?
I thought Google picks you up for work.
They do, but I drove into the city for like the weekend. I was like playing around by the bridge. No, I don't know what I'm going to do actually. I'm really worried about it. I'm trying to decide if I want to live kind of in the more suburbs area because it'll be cheaper.
Yeah.
Or if I want to just bite the bullet and so I have a real estate agent that came with part of my hiring package thing.
Sure.
I only get to use her for a week, and I don't know what I'm going to do.
That is so standard. Yeah. Same thing
Yeah, it
happened to
is.
me.
Like you get
That's
that.
how I got here.
You know.
That's how
While
I
I
got
was
to where
working
I'm
at
at.
Best Buy in the computer, department, yeah, I had a real estate come along with it, and I
was
couldn't
like,
even readily
I know.
afford or legally buy a house at that. So yeah.
Well, I was just like, do what you do, you know?
But yeah, I don't like the problem. The only problem with that is like the housing market here is really competitive. I don't know that I'm able to navigate it by myself, and I only have a limited time I can use the real estate agent. So I'm like, I don't know what the proper time to engage is. I don't know where I'm going to tell him I want to live.
Are you gonna buy immediately? Is that like the plan?
No, I'm gonna live in an apartment. Oh,
okay.
You have to be a millionaire to buy like in the city.
Oh yeah.
Solid millionaire. Solid. No, I can't. Not for another ever. It's not gonna happen. Oakland maybe, but
Crenshaw.
You going across the bridge?
Compton.
Yeah, I don't want to go
Right.
across the
That's out of the
bridge.
bridge, bro.
It's all
I
everything's
heard
different
there's
over
nice
there.
spots in
Long
Oakland.
Beach. Inglewood.
Yes.
Just,
So you mentioned getting a ride to work, right? What other perks do you have that allows you to save money?
Yeah.
I don't
you
know.
weren't here for the beginning of the chat, were you, Ron?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you missed it.
I missed the beginning.
There are a couple other ones. We have discounted personal trainers. So I saw my trainer today.
That's so California.
So California.
Because I've been getting really fat, guys. It's really bad.
Everybody out of school does that. Like, there's nobody here who hasn't put on a couple pounds.
We looked at like a
What?
I know you haven't put on any
There's
weight.
like the freshman 15, and then there's like the I graduated 30. Everybody puts that on.
Right, I didn't even gain my freshman 15.
Did you make up for it later, or you you just
I'm paying for that now.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to ask this right. But, it's all right, man. After you get out of college, you have a lot more money, so you eat better. So, I mean, I gotta.
Or worse, depending on what that means.
Right.
Yeah, depending on what you're measuring.
Because if you're measuring taste, you eat better. If you're measuring
like wholesome
nutritional
as
value,
far as fiber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an if. That's a choice that you have to make.
If.
That has nothing to do with your finances.
Man, everybody used to get that McDonald's dollar menu.
Just killing yourself slowly, but
Make chicken in a small fry.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Small fry.
the struggle.
Wasn't that sweet tea pretty much just syrup?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
It's
Like
so good.
it tastes like they took a bottle of concentrate sweet tea and just poured it into a jug.
By the way, it was not as tragic as Chick-fil-A, but there was some aftershocks from having that tea as well.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
I think I'll leave that actually.
We'll go into
Let's
that.
not go there.
Let's not go there again.
Not on this chat. Wait till
Okay,
after.
I'm just saying.
Of course, you had to volunteer that information. Oh,
Real.
really?
Look,
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Hey, yeah, I think we can close it unless anybody has any big pressing questions. Anybody
Here's one
want to?
question I think we all want to know. When can we all come down
Oh yeah.
that tour?
Tomorrow.
Oh
No.
yeah, Cameron.
Don't do it all at once. I only get 2 tours a month.
Okay, guys, I'll set up a schedule.
Okay, so
don't prioritize yourself first. Okay?
alphabetically, I'd
First
be
name alphabetically.
this.
No.
You know, it'd be me and Dunn actually.
I
No,
vote
or-
No, it'd be me and then then Austin Donaldson. So yeah.
Or you could all just come
I'm
work here.
Alfred.
And
I
just sing.
definitely go before Austin.
No. When do you ever sort?
I said first name first. First
Damn,
name.
I'm in no
But that doesn't
rush.
make any sense.
Okay, then I would still be in
Why
the
doesn't
first,
it make any
first
sense?
group.
I'm in no
We
rush.
don't-
I would still be
none
in
of
the
us
first
have
group,
the
so it
same
don't
first
make me no never
I
mind.
vote no.
Yeah, it's me, Cash
Austin
Money.
in violation.
It's me, Cash Money. Austin, who's next?
Austin can't go. He already eliminated himself.
I think we are going by last name.
Thank you. In which case, I would still be in the first group, so it don't make me no never mind.
Absolutely not. I will mute your chat feed right now.
It depends on which sorting algorithm that we're using. That's
How
all.
about we
Yeah,
go
what sorting algorithm are you
Depends,
using?
How about we
depends
go
on the
by-
language we're sorting your names in. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, Cameron. Which one does my name come in first? Because that's the one we're using. I mean, that's pretty much how it's going. So I mean, I don't care what anybody says.
That right there is called the convenience sort.
I need to make sure I have that algorithm set up when I go do my Google interview.
AJ, how about we go by graduating class?
That still puts me and Robert and Austin at the front.
Yeah, and then me, Hewling,
And then-
and yeah,
But
and
you
then
only
Rod
have
and
to
JK.
So it had to be Robert, me. I guess Austin said he can't go. Okay.
Austin, you stupid.
I don't think it's that serious. I really don't. I mean, but if
Actually, it is.
It
I
is.
told you about the pop-ups. I told you. Like,
So
I
you
don't even
think
know if
they're
I'm supposed to
like,
do
whoa, is he from Microsoft? Get out of here.
I don't know, man.
Security, we have a 548, a 548.
Yeah, before.
Austin just wake up with a dart in his neck back at his house, like, what happened?
Right.
Okay, so Austin's out. So it'll be me, Rob. You see how I'm always at the front of this list. That's just a must.
This is
Oh,
this is
you
a
and
good story.
you and Ashley.
I'd be in the
JK,
middle. Me and Hewlin would be in the middle.
Yeah,
JK and Rod.
Rodney can go next. Look at that. That works out perfectly for everybody, especially me, because that's really all I care about.
I think that's sort of fine, but I think it should go reverse.
It don't matter. I'd be
Either
in the
way,
middle.
you're
Said.
in the middle. Why would
Right.
No, never mind. You're with Rod.
Yeah, me and Hewlin would be in the middle.
Yeah, right there.
Look, I think your order's stupid, JK, and that's all there is.
That's it.
Oh, dude.
That's all that matters.
Dude.
Hey, quick question: is anybody going to see that movie Dope? Has anybody seen that?
What is that about?
That's about these smart kids selling dope. I think. Is that,
No, I don't. I hope not. It's about this kid's trying to get into Harvard. It's a black dude. Who's
no,
not going.
they're legit selling drugs.
Yeah, that's it.
awesome. Yeah, I know he's selling. But I'm saying I don't think the premise is 100% about dope, because when I watched the interview, there was like no dope in. Not the interview. The trailer. There was no dope in it at all. They didn't even do any. The kid's trying to get into Harvard, I think, is the important part. He just happens to live in the projects. So selling dope is kind of like a,
Wait,
it's a
he's trying
hobby
to
over
get
there.
into Harvard by selling dope?
No, absolutely not. He's trying to get those two things are not related. He just happens to be doing both of them. They're not. There's no correlation or causation. He's not trying to do anything there. They just happen to both be part of his being.
He's good enough to get into Harvard.
Well,
and
he's
the
very,
best
very smart.
business plan he has is dope.
No.
Like, that's the best startup idea he has. Is I can be a drug dealer.
I don't think that's how it started. I think that somebody saw his intelligence and decided to use him, like most, stories about smart black
You know what
guys.
my real question is?
Yeah, like the whole street
Questions.
thing.
Is this based on a true story?
I want it to
And is what's the ethnicity of the person that wrote this screenplay?
I don't know. It looks like it's an all African American thing going on.
That might be all African American cast.
No, I get
No,
you. I
no,
get
no,
you. I think the production company. I think it's like all black people doing it. It doesn't look like they're making fun of it. Like they're trying to like you know what I'm saying. It looks like they're honestly just trying to tell a funny story ethnically. But I still do think it is kind of like.
Looks like
So
it's
this is a comedy.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, it's not a hard-hitting drama where the kid's found in a ditch at the end, because that's how all those movies end. But yeah.
That's how AJ.
I was just asking because it was like, I guess they're trying to portray, like a smart ethnic hero to a story or whatever, like or protagonist.
This is apparently a really good movie.
It looked interesting. I wasn't gonna lie.
It looked interesting.
You know how I feel about black.
Either hit or miss.
You know how I feel about black cinema. I'm not for it.
Top 5.
We know how.
Don't
JK, don't start with me on this podcast. You wait till we're finished. Then you start.
What?
And what do y'all think about the Avengers going all the way to TLT Wakanda and not bringing out the Black Panther?
What?
I was thinking about the same
the
thing.
bitterness was strong with me. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, okay, let's.
He
Now we're in
invented my
spoiler
word.
territory.
Unacceptable.
Let's go ahead and just end this broadcast.
Yeah, please.
No.
And we'll hang out in the
No,
winter.
no.
Because we're
They need to
doing
know about
spoilers. What if our 2 viewers haven't seen the Avengers yet? We just throwing all kinds of spoilers out there.
It's all right.
It's
It's
all
gonna
right.
be the next one. Though. It's okay.
They're warned. Let's go.
3 viewers now.
They just got
All
warned.
Well, we're gonna do this chat similar to this almost every week. I'm assuming that's the plan. Obviously, probably won't be this cast all the time. Usually isn't this cast all the time, but we'll try to get a couple of us in there, maybe 2. Hopefully, the magic number is 3 but pushing for 4 at least. So if you guys got any availability things, you guys can let me know. We're just doing it kind of like a positive, just place for FAMU grads and FAMU undergrads to go and just kind of chat and talk about the job market, school. I keep saying and I hate that I'm doing that.
Comments.
Anyway, yeah, that's what we're planning on doing. We have a little structure kind of thing, but there's no need to talk about it now. We'll talk about that later. And hopefully people will be able to tune in and see us, weekly.
By the way, as a side note, there is a Twitter account for this. It is the Beta Magnet. So if you guys want to have specific, why JK?
What are we looking at?
Stop it now. Yes. If you guys want to see something specific, like if you want a topic addressed in depth, or there's some notable speaker that you think should be on in this sort of environment, that would be awesome if you guys tweeted those type of comments.
Yeah.
You guys, I don't know how many of you are actually watching now, but this will be on YouTube, right? This will be on YouTube at some point, and
I'll put
more
it in my G
people are watching.
Plus. And there's gonna be a transition from my account to an actual Beta Magnet Gmail or whatever. I'm just too lazy to actually do those kind of things on my free time.
I created that Gmail account so I could give that to you.
Good job. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, we'll move all of this stuff to that, and I guess we'll have to everybody G Plus that or how. What is the lingo for connecting in G Plus, Cameron? Since you work there now.
Add people to
Hangouts.
circles.
Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody, the circle thing is supposed to happen. So
Nobody likes G+. I'm sorry.
and that's true, but everybody should have one anyway. How else am I gonna contact you guys? I don't know. Facebook is so weird. I don't know. It's hard. I don't have everybody here in this chat on Facebook. I don't know.
Twitter.
I barely have any. I don't use Twitter, so
I second Cam's gesture. I very much second that.
No Twitter.
I mean, Google is the one place where I have almost all of you guys almost everybody I've ever even encountered at FAMU, because we've all exchanged emails when we wanted to pass books and homework grades. I mean,
Yeah, because no one used their FAMU email address.
It was terrible.
Come on, Cash. Do I have to? You always say stuff and then you want me to edit it out. I'm gonna stop.
I didn't say anything. I'm talking about an email.
I'm just saying, Cash. You're trying to keep this pristine image of who you are, and I'm gonna let it slip if you keep on throwing stuff in the
What
chat.
are you talking about? This pristine image. I am who I am.
Okay.
Oh, that's that's saying a lot.
I already know who you are.
Whatever.
I know who your parent is too.
My parent. What does that mean?
He's talking about a certain teacher.
Oh,
we all
God.
had it.
Shut up, man. Shut up, please.
All right. We played around good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and end this to our 2 viewers who are still watching. If those viewers are not in this chat, we will see you later. Because I think some of you guys have it open and don't know it, and I can't really see who the viewers are.
Yeah, the third one was me. I definitely exited out. That's why I went down to 2.
Okay, so I have no idea who the 2 ones are.
Suavemente.
And Austin, are you also viewing? Because I know at one point you were. If you are, go ahead and exit out so I can see it drop to 1 and cry a little bit. Oh, okay, good. All right, so to the 2 viewers that are watching, we will be back next week in some capacity.
Doris. I think Doris is one.
I doubt it, because I don't know. I think everybody's gone.
No, you.
That's the pessimist in me, but
Pessimist, man.
look, that is survival mode. That's how you live. And all you optimists out there,
It's not about optimism. Sometimes it takes realism. Realism isn't as bad as optimism.
That's more closely related to
as bad as pessimism, and isn't as naive as optimism.
Look, realism is more closely related to pessimism and optimism. But
I think it's
that's beside the point. To our 2 viewers, thanks for watching. I hope Cam answered some of your questions, because obviously I wasn't monitoring the Q&A, so my bad. And like I said, we'll be back sometime next week in some capacity.
Same bat channels.
We'll be here next Monday. Is it going to be 8 o'clock again?
Oh, Doris says she is still here. Well, see you later, Doris.
Boom.
And this is recorded, right? So I can go back and view the beginning.
I have to post it. It usually takes like a couple hours, or maybe even almost half a day for it to actually download to whatever my account or whatever. So probably a day and a half now. What? Cash Money, I'm not editing nothing. So when that happens, Brian Johnson said he was watching as well. So those are our 2 viewers, Brian and Doris, and he said it was very informative.
In Brian's words.
Yeah, those are Brian's words. All right, Brian and Doris.
That was his words.
Like we said, we'll be back next week if you guys are even remotely interested. Of course, that's not guaranteeing Cameron will be here. This was a special event. So, yeah, he's shaking his head no. So thanks for that, Cameron, for not even trying to help us with the rating.
It's in the middle of the workday.
Usually, no, it's usually, how's it the middle of your work week?
It's not the middle. Now it isn't. But it usually is at 4, right?
No. Well, for you, usually it's at 4.
For me.
Doris said hi and bye. So, anyway, we can push it back, Cameron. We just need to know that people are going to be there when we push it back. The reason we do it at 7, we usually do it at 7 and it lasts till forever. Right, Cash Money?
Forever.
It really doesn't happen anytime, but because we're recording, we'll start to shorten it up. Like 10 o'clock, we're just ramping up at 10 usually because it's not recording, so we're just talking, and it goes pretty deep. But as long as we're recording, we'll keep it, reasonable. So anyway, I'm gonna stop the broadcast. You guys can stay on. We can chat from here on out.
Adios, contaminants.
All right. See y'all later, and